Hi, my name is Brittany and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hey, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video, and hopefully this one doesn't lag. So yeah, basically we will be talking about how to stay in a calorie deficit and basically how to bounce back after falling off. If you're anything like me, a heavy snacker, and I deal with occasional binge eating, we'll just basically be going over the challenges and the solutions and basically figuring out exactly what you are, what your challenges are, and how you can work around them to make sure that you stay locked in. Now, the journey is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy, but we're just gonna kind of go over some things to think about once you decide that you want to go on a cut. A cut is basically maintaining muscle and shredding body fat. It is not an easy process, but again, we'll go over everything and then we'll figure it out together, y'all. We got this. Just a little bit of background for me. I reached my heaviest at 215 pounds. I'll probably go ahead and show y'all a picture or a video reference here. Once I reached that point, I knew that I didn't want to do that anymore. Like, I didn't want to be that big. I had just let myself go, just eating whatever. And I just, I remember vividly the moment where I realized this is not for me. Because when I sat down, when I tell you I sat down and I felt like my body looked like this emoji. Yes, I felt like my body looked like this emoji, and I'm probably gonna show y'all what that looked like. When I was sitting down, I could literally feel like the rolls right here. And I just knew, you know what, it's wraps. So I ended up getting into the fitness thing. Long story short, I was able to get down to 196. 196, I really liked, you know, how I was looking. I was super curvy and everything like that, but I wanted more, right? I wanted more. I wanted more definition. I wanted the abs. I wanted to keep the glutes and everything like that, but I no longer wanted to just hold on to the, oh, I'm thick and that's it. Small waist, big butt, that's it. Like, no, fitness is way more than that. So yeah, that ultimately led me to wanting to get into getting on a deficit. And I had been on a deficit for a very, very long time, right? Yeah, I had been on a deficit for a very, very long time, but I was still hovering around that 196, 194, 192 mark because I wasn't doing it right. It was until my fiance kind of like intervened and he was like, hey, I know you really want this and I can really help you lock in, that I started to like get the hang of things and really see like, okay, this is what it takes to really get the results. So from 196, I did end up dropping to 170. And if I had implemented what my fiance told me to start doing and get uncomfortable, then I would have been there a while ago. But during that journey, even now, even to now, right? Even now, I still have my challenges and my struggles because I am a heavy snacker, and I do have sessions or periods where out of nowhere, I just start binge eating, right? So if you're anything like me, you understand how frustrating this can be, because when you have like the urge to just constantly keep eating and then it just doesn't stop, it becomes an issue, right? And it's like, man, like I've been locked in for so long and now I'm here. I'm going to basically show y'all this is what I look like when I was super dialed in, staying locked in with my calorie deficit, staying locked in with my cardio, staying locked in with working out, staying on top of it. And here is what it looks like when I had a binge eating episode, right? This is where I just could not it was just rapid fire. And I believe that the trigger at this time was me being bored. I believe, yeah, I think that's what caused it. I was bored, and I'm super, super busy, and I like to stay busy to avoid this. But yeah, this is just like, it's just to show that despite, you know, putting in so much effort and making sure that you're staying locked in with your journey, there will probably be times where you backtrack, and just understand that you don't have to be hard on yourself, right? You don't have to be hard on yourself, but you have to take mental note of, hey, this is what happened. this was the trigger. How can I how can I work around this to not have this happen again? We are all human beings, and that's absolutely fine, but we can't allow ourselves to give each other grace to the point where we're just like, you know what, it happened again, oh well. Like, no, that's not how it's going to work. That's not how you're gonna see the results that you want, because at that point it'll be like 7-8 months down the road and the results are still not here because you're giving yourself too much grace. It is okay to recognize, like, hey, this happened, I need to lock in. The more that you do that, the more you're conditioning yourself to get into the habit of staying locked in until you get to that goal weight, right? And I have to constantly remind myself this, because to be honest with you, being on a cut sucks. Like, I cannot stand being on a cut. I'm tired of eating these itty bitty I'm tired of eating these little ass calories, right? I am. But I have a goal, and it's forcing me to become more disciplined and to push myself and to do something that I'm so close to achieving, right? The lowest that I got was 170, right? Right now I'm at like 174. Why? I'm at 174 because there was a period not too long ago where I was not locked in. Granted, it's only 4 pounds, right? It's only 4 pounds, but just thinking about that, it just means that that's 4 more pounds added to what I have to lose to get to my goal weight of 160. I could have been at 160, but I keep allowing myself to not see the end goal, if that makes sense, to remind myself of why I want to do it, to remind myself that I'm achieving health, that I want health, to remind myself that I want more definition in my body, to remind myself that I want the abs, to remind myself that I want to keep the glutes, to remind myself that once I push myself beyond my comfort zone, I will be able to become the version of myself that I know that I'm meant to be, right? You have to ultimately remind yourself of why you're doing this. Why do I want to change? Why do I want a better physique? Why, and a lot of this is not just about the physique, right? The process is very difficult, but through that process, you begin to change. Your mentality changes. The way you go about things changes. You accept challenges more because you're already going through a challenge every day. Who wants to eat a boiled egg and a bagel every day for breakfast? Nobody. But hey, you got to do it just to get to the results. It kind of forces you to change from within. Like, you would change physically, of course, but from within you'll begin to change too, right? Your mindset shifts. You take on more challenges, you're more resilient, you're more locked in. Like, it's just, your mind becomes sharper. Like, it's a process that is very, very tedious and it's very difficult, but it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So throughout my journey, I just ultimately went through a lot of experiences. I figured out a lot of ways to get around, my problem of binge eating, of, being a snacker. For those of you that follow me on Instagram or follow me on TikTok or even on Shorts, you saw that I implemented pre-portioning out my snacks by 1 to 2 servings. You can check out those videos, and it has really helped me because I already have, the portions set out for me, so I don't have to just keep digging in a bottomless bag, right? So recognizing that you have these challenges, if you're anything like me, is a #1 step in getting into a deficit. As a binge eater, right? When you recognize that after a long time of you staying locked in, you all of a sudden have a binge eating episode, we have to kind of figure out what the trigger is, right? For me, my trigger is being bored. If I'm bored or if I feel like I'm stressed out, that's when it just starts going crazy, right? Now, the triggers may be different for you, but for me, I know that's exactly what sets me off. And it's like all of the progress that I've made over the past few months or the past few weeks has gone out the door. Like, it's not even on my mind anymore because I'm just trying to fulfill, eating, right? So ultimately, I found that for me, that the hardest things that I faced on my calorie deficit, like my challenges, are the snacking, the binge eating, and the hunger itself. Now, for the hunger, you're naturally going to be hungry because you're in a calorie deficit. But just understand that you will be hungry, but once you figure out ways to kind of get around that, like I have, it becomes easier. It becomes easier. During the beginning, it becomes a lot easier. And you also understand, like, this process is very, very difficult. It is very, very difficult. It's not supposed to be easy, but the reward is so worth it. My fiance literally has to constantly remind me, okay, the reward is so worth it. The longer that you drag this out by not staying locked in, you have to keep, it's the longer that you have to stay in such a deficit. But once you reach that goal weight, you can immediately go into maintenance and just maintain that weight. That means you get to eat more. Of course, you have to stay healthy and keep the fibers and the proteins and everything locked in. But just thinking about, hey, this is just for a short period of time. So if you can remember that and just realize, like, hey, if I just keep extending this out by not staying locked in, I'm gonna just stay more and more miserable. Would you rather be uncomfortable for a short period of time, or would you prefer to elongate that process by trying to fulfill overeating and just getting off track for what you have been getting prepped for, Now, getting on a deficit, we have to realize that there are two types of deficits. There is an aggressive calorie deficit, and then there is a slight calorie deficit. Me, I am on an aggressive deficit. Why? Because it takes a shorter amount of time to get the results. However, as I did mention, it's in the name. It is aggressive, so it ultimately means like 1350 to 1450 calories per day. And a lot of people are probably gonna think that's crazy, but if you want results and you want them to come fast so you can get into that maintenance, you would probably get on an aggressive cut. Now, if you wanted something that's not as aggressive, you probably take 200 to 400 calories off of your maintenance calories. You would still technically be in a deficit. It would just take a longer amount of time. And me personally, I don't have all the time in the world. I just want the results. I mean, realistically, results don't come next day, but on an aggressive cut, you do have it come a lot faster than a slight deficit. And I personally prefer to stay on an aggressive cut, even though I still have my struggles, because it forces me to become disciplined. It forces me out of my comfort zone. It forces me to push myself beyond my limits. I like to be put in that position. So if you're looking to get on a deficit, I recommend doing what works for you. You can try an aggressive cut, and if you think that is just simply not working, that's absolutely fine. You can try a slight. However, I personally enjoy the aggressive cut because despite me having my backtracks and the issues or whatever, it's forcing me to become a new version of myself. It's basically forcing me to become more disciplined in chasing what I want. And I like being put in those type of positions. Now, when determining how many calories that you need to be eating per day for your cut, the easiest way to do so is put your information into an online calorie calculator. My fiance put me onto this website called Calorie.net. All you have to do is just basically put in your age, your height, your weight, and how active you are throughout the week. And from there, it'll let you know the calories to lose weight and the calories to gain weight, I believe, when you keep scrolling down, right? Now, with this information, I do believe that they give you the options to lose weight let me see. Yeah, so they give you the option, I'm looking at it now, they give you the option to maintain weight. They give you the option for mild weight loss at 0.5 pounds per week. They give you the option for weight loss at 1 pound per week. And then they give you the option for extreme weight loss for 2 pounds per week, right? As we said before, I'm on an aggressive cut. I'd probably lean towards 2 or more pounds per week. Do what works for you. You determine that number. You can try what you want to do. I'm just telling you what you could do to get started. And no force. Yeah, that's basically how you figure out how many calories you need to be taking per day to maintain a calorie deficit, right? Now, granted, with that information, although it is a calorie deficit, you have to make sure that you're still locking in with your proteins, unless you want to be just soft and squishy and have no definition whatsoever, right? If you want to be toned and have that muscular look while you're losing your body fat, you're definitely going to need to make sure that the protein is high. I like to aim for a minimum of 100 grams protein per day. It's really not that hard if you know how to plan your meals and everything. but we'll get into that later. Now that we've talked about the challenges, the 2 types of calorie deficits, and how to find the deficit, we can talk about some of the solutions, right? Now, the first thing that we could talk about is meal planning and meal prepping, right? Meal prepping and meal planning is probably the best way, one of the best ways to set yourself up for success on any type of fitness journey, right? Whether you're bulking, whether you're cutting, whether you're trying to just lose weight, like that is the best way to set yourself up for success, because now you have your set amount of calories and a set amount of portions made for you throughout the week. That limits the temptation to go buy food out. That limits the temptation to go overeat. That limits so much, right? Now, with that, you have to be very calculated. You have to make sure that you are prepping meals for yourself that will fuel your body and fuel your goals. For me, I have a specific formula that I follow on a cut to make sure that I'm hitting all of the goals of high protein, high fiber, carbs, healthy fats, all of that. Like, I make sure that I'm locked in with all of those. And I make sure, I just basically make sure that I'm locked in with all of that to stay full and fuel my body for what I'm trying to achieve. Once again, that is the more toned, thick, I still want to be thick, and I'm probably still gonna always have my shape, but to really like build it into like my maximum physique, that's what I need. I need the proper nutrition while I'm training and getting the cardio and everything right. Otherwise, if I'm in a deficit and I'm shredding body fat but not providing the proper nutrients needed, I'm going to lose a lot of muscle, and then I'm gonna become squishy. I don't want to be squishy, and I don't know if that's what you're going for. And if that's what you're going for, that's fine. But me personally, I don't want it, So yeah, just making sure that you're staying locked in and planning your meals and prepping them. Making time to meal prep will change the game for you. Nutrition is probably 90% of why a lot of people are not seeing results in the gym, because you need to make some shifts. Number 2, we'll go into volume eating, right? Volume eating will change everything. Volume eating basically means that you can eat a lot of something for such a low amount of calories. Stuff like that usually looks like cucumbers, carrots, celery, just like veggies and fruits that are super low calorie but you can eat a lot of. My favorites are carrots, the cucumbers, and the celery, because they're so low in calories, and once I eat it makes me feel like I'm eating a lot to get that satiated feeling in my stomach, because I like to feel full. A lot of people don't like that, but I like to feel full. Like I like that feeling of I ate good, I ate real good. I like to feel like that. Otherwise my mind will feel like I have not eaten enough. And if you want that feeling similar to me, then you probably want to lean in on those low calorie, high volume foods. Now, if you need some guidance on how to meal plan and meal prep, I do provide guidance on that, which I will leave in my description box below. A lot of the girlies have been using them, and I'm so happy because a lot of them are also following my exact meal plan and they love it. They're seeing results, and it makes me so happy. And if you're really looking for that guidance and don't really care to do all that work yourself, go ahead and check it out in my description box, and just know that that meal plan that I've created is a 1450 calorie meal plan, and it's kind of designed in a way for me to remain full as a binge eater, snacker. And if that is you, just go ahead and give it a try. Just go ahead and give it a try, because there's a way that you could cheat the system and just try to just work your move with everything, Otherwise, if you feel like you can come up with your own meal plan, I'm totally for it. Just make sure that you're providing the nutrients that your body needs, and let me know how that goes. And if you happen to come up with some of your own tips, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know. I'm always open to trying new things and hearing things out, because at the end of the day, we in this together, child. We are in this together. Now, the third solution that we'll talk about is kind of targeted towards the hunger aspect of things, where you're feeling super hungry. The way that I kind of find myself trying to beat that after reaching all of my calories is getting like a really big hot cup of tea or coffee. A lot of people are not coffee drinkers, but coffee is really, really good for helping you stay full. I don't know what it is about it, but black coffee, I don't put anything in it. I prefer my coffee black. Like me. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. I prefer my coffee black, and I found that it really, really helps, especially in the morning. I like the stock coffee, the stock iced coffee. It's about 15 calories for like 360 milligrams, which is pretty good, pretty good. It keeps me full. But to be honest with you, I don't really try to drink coffee as often. I'm not really trying to get into the whole caffeine addiction thing. Another really good alternative is tea, but with the tea, it has to be, for me, I like to get like a really big mug of tea and add sativa just to keep it flatline, 0 calories. And that warmth kind of gives me that similar I'm super full feeling, right? Take my time and drink it, and it kind of gives me that super full feeling that I don't know, like I think that's what really kind of sets off that hunger aspect of things, because sometimes it's really not even me being hungry, it's me being bored. So yeah, once I get a good big cup of tea in my system, I'm usually good. If I still feel it, I'll probably get another cup of tea at the end of the day, because we have to stay locked in. And I know this probably sounds so crazy to somebody. Oh, it's never that deep. It's never that deep. But it is, babe. It is. It is. Because when your body's looking like this, because you on a deficit, like, don't make me stand up for real. Don't make me stand up for real. It really is that deep. It really does get that deep. Like, all jokes aside, once you learn how to navigate the system and cheat the system, bro, I promise you, you will start seeing your body change like that. Another thing that also helps is staying hydrated throughout the day. A gallon of water a day will keep you full. It'll make you feel like you're more full, ultimately leading to you not feeling as hungry. I drink water. I do drink 128 ounces, or aim to drink 128 ounces of water daily. But again, I prefer that warm feeling in my gut to make me feel like I've eaten something. And it really helps me. So give it a try. Now, the fourth and final thing that I would like to mention is an accountability, right? Now, with this, the first step is recognizing where your weaknesses are on your fitness journey. Whether that's, you like to eat a lot, you like to eat at night, whether you're a snacker, whether you're a binger, whether you just struggle to make time to meal prep or whatever, Once you recognize what your issue is, you need to have accountability. Now, if you're somebody that can hold yourself accountable to stay locked in and stay dialed in on your journey, then that's fine, right? That is absolutely fine. However, if that were the case, would you be watching this video? Would you be watching this video? Huh? Okay. So let's go ahead and clear that up. And that's fine. That's fine, because that's me. I cannot hold myself accountable, right? I cannot hold myself accountable. And that's fine. Let me give you a high five. That's fine. That's fine. So with that being said, it is important to either sharpen your ability to hold yourself accountable or seek external help, right? You can seek external help in a multitude of ways. But one thing that I found that has helped me is kind of taking my fiance on as a coach. He has really, really helped me get back on track when I find myself getting to the point of where I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to keep going. What if I just stayed at 170? What if I just did that? What if and he would clock my T. He would let me know, nah, you just want to give up now because you don't want to, you're tired. You're tired of being in that cycle, not even knowing that you're keeping yourself in that cycle by not staying dialed in. If you stay locked in for like a month or two, you will get to your goal weight and no longer have to be here. But the more that you elongate that process, it becomes so miserable, right? And sometimes you just need somebody to clock your T. Sometimes you need somebody to actually clock your T. And he be doing that. I love him to death. But he be clocking my T. He really does. And sometimes you need somebody to do that. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, hey, you haven't been to the gym in 6 days. I see your back widening. What's going on? You have not been tracking your calories. You have not been doing your cardio. You have not been meal prepping. You have not been staying locked in with your end goal, with why you want to do this. You have not been locked in. And in order to achieve that, you're probably going to realize like, hey, I probably do need a coach. It has not been working for me. Me telling myself, hey, I got to do this. And then within 3 days later, every 3 days, not even within 3 days, every 3 days, you find yourself binge eating. You find yourself, oh, it's just a burger. It's just In-N-Out. It's just, no. You probably need to realize like, hey, I need a coach, and that's fine. Luckily, my fiance is a personal coach, and he's worked with so many people that have connected with me. And I'm so, like, just seeing how he's able to transform these people's lives and transform their physique is crazy, because he's literally done that for me. He was the one that ultimately told me, hey, if you really want to see the results that you want, you have to get into this aggressive cut and eat 1,415 calories. 1,450 calories, right? And when he told me that, I wish y'all could have seen how I wish y'all could have seen how I looked at him, because I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Well, are you crazy? That's nothing. What am I gonna eat? Grass? What am I gonna eat? Right? But once you have somebody to kind of push you out of your comfort zone, you start to get into the habit yourself, right? Sometimes that's really what you need. You need somebody to set you up and get you into the habit of things so you can get it going yourself. Because there are people who are completely able to get the formula, implement that formula, see results, and keep going. They don't need external accountability, right? But if that's not the case for you, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with seeking external help so that you can get into the habit yourself, right? My fiance got external help from a coach, and then he was able to get it into himself. He was able to lock in with himself and everything like that, to where he could help others, to where he could help me and hundreds of other women and men, right? So like sometimes it's not even just about, hey, something is wrong with me. Something, why can't I do this? No, no. Like the moment that I'm not even joking, the moment that I sought out help from my fiance is when my fitness journey took off like that. Literally. Sometimes that's just all it is. That is all it is. Just needing that help, to have somebody lay that foundation for you so that you can be able to take it on and keep going by yourself. Have somebody guide you, have somebody mold you, have somebody hold you accountable so they can instill it into your head so you can do that for yourself down the road and continue to do so, Now that we've ultimately gone over everything, I just want to be transparent and let y'all know, like, hey, it was literally last week where I was just not locked in. And I'm honestly even grateful to be at 174. I'm honestly grateful to be at 174 and not 189, because I've had that happen before in the past, because I had a cheat day and I didn't do what I needed to do to bounce back. But now I'm in the process. Today is Monday. I'm in the process of bouncing back, and it's just like, we're here, right? We have to, I recognize what my trigger was. I recognize what I need to do to get back on track and just stay locked in, right? Again, it's not to beat yourself up, but it's to recognize when these things happen and figure out how to keep going. Try some of these solutions and let me know if they work out for you, because I feel like it doesn't get any more, like, I'm a real world example of how difficult it is. I see results every day. And I motivate so many people. And honestly, y'all motivate me too, because it's like, hey, if I'm motivating y'all, I can't be white as a house. I cannot be white as a house. But sometimes I just get off track and everything like that. And I just have to be real with y'all. I'm a human being, but at the end of the day, I cannot give myself grace. Otherwise, it'll just continue to snowball. So this week, we're definitely gonna lock in. And I hope that after watching this video that you see like, hey, it's time to lock in. I know I messed up, but it's time to lock in. Or if you're just trying to get into the calorie deficit altogether, you're trying to get on the cut altogether, recognizing that this is a difficult feat. It won't be easy at first, but if you keep going, keep training yourself to become more disciplined, to become more resilient, to stay on top of these meal plans, these meal prepping, all of that, right? If you can stay locked in and give yourself the opportunity to become the best version of yourself, the journey ultimately becomes easier. It becomes so much easier. I promise. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys got some good tips out of this video. I wanted to just kind of give it from a perspective of what I deal with as a fitness person who's trying to stay locked in with her fitness and everything like that. But I'm not gonna lie, it is very hard. It is very hard to stay locked in, but you know, as long as we do it together, I feel like that's what really keeps me going. When y'all tell me like, hey, I'm doing your meal plan, I'm doing your workout plan, I'm doing all of this, it just shows like we're in this together. And it just makes me so happy to have such amazing supporters. And just, man, I don't even consider y'all supporters. I feel like we family. But just to have so many amazing supporters who are actively going through the pain with me. And just, you know, when I get DMs and y'all ask me questions on how to do this and this, I love doing that because, girl, we in this together. We are in this together. So I appreciate you guys so much, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time on the next video, bye.